I'm going to give audience a bit of a warning today in that some of what I'm going to say is going to come off a bit harsh. And I know that because this is one of those videos that I put together show notes for. And while it didn't take me a long time to put them together, as I was writing them, I felt like I was venting into the show notes. Or I was lecturing into the show notes because I feel like my venting is done on this topic, but I feel very passionate about it. So here we go. This is the disclaimer. Two parts today. Number one, again, Mental Health Monday. I am not a mental health professional, just someone who goes through some of the crap in my own noggin, and I have those life experiences. The second thing is the harsh warning today, the harshness warning. There is harshness. Uh, Please don't take it personal, but this is about you. This vlog is about you and taking care of yourself. Okay, so if you're watching this and you kind of get like, huffy about it or something like that, or you kind of get, oh well, I feel called out. This video isn't for you if you feel called out. This is for the other folks that might need this video. So remember that. All right. A year off Facebook. That's the topic. A year ago, a little over a year ago, we started with this whole pandemic crap, right? And I wanted to pull back from it early on. I wanted to pull back from Facebook early on because the amount of disinformation kind of flooding down. I remember all the people that didn't want to stay home when the need really came out. They remember the whole flatten the curve thing. People that didn't want to stay home, didn't want to be lectured by their friends. They felt called out because they were being so selfish that they couldn't just take a few moments to think about what they were doing and how it could affect others. You know what? The tough thing is that we're 18 months into this and we're still dealing with a lot of the same crap. I don't understand, to use this common phrase, I don't understand why it's so hard to tell these people how important it is to care about each other. It's impossible. Early on in the pandemic, after having several negative reactions or interactions with people online, with a lot of people that I really barely knew, I was connected with them. We were Facebook friends, but how friendly were we? I knew I wanted to pull back from Facebook, and I drifted over to Discord in February or March of 20, I think it had to be March of 2020. And I brought along all the coolest people I could find who were in my Facebook server group who wanted to be part of my Discord server. And I created a microcosm of like minds. We called it the Walls Dungeon Tavern after this room originally, and then it became the Dungeon Tavern. When I decided it was something that was really for everyone and not just, I shouldn't have my name stamped on it. And yes, I realized I was creating a bubble, a more bubbly bubble than, I guess, just being on Facebook with a very limited cropped group of people. But I still had Facebook, and I spent too much time drifting back over there. And in July of 2020, after a couple months of trying to decide, should I keep it? There's family connection. Should I not? Will I still talk to these people? I deactivated and deleted my account. After pulling all my pictures off of the account, first off, I went and got those. And we're now a year in from that deletion, and I thought I would share how I feel in case any of you are thinking of doing the same from Facebook or any social media out there. And I got to say, I feel so much better about, my time and my mental health since getting off of that steaming cesspool of garbage. I used to feel so tense after being on Facebook for any length of time. I would get into these spats online with people, often folks I didn't really know that well, and I'd spend way too much time complaining about it to my wife. I was probably someone that would generate, I would plant the seeds of these spats. As if I was angry, I would go on Facebook and I'd blast something. And of course, there would be blasting back. And even though I'd think that I was blasting it towards people that were more like-minded, oftentimes it had that one or two friends that, would rush forth and support one of the poses, one of the stances I didn't support, and start either blasting memes or posting response videos or all kinds of crap, and it just wasn't productive. Or I'd happen upon seeing some kind of right-wing conspiracy crap that a second cousin shared. And even if I had, muted that second cousin, I think there were still ways that I could see that family members of mine that I had muted were connected, were resharing or had liked it. And it was exhausting. And the moderating. Oh my gosh, I can't forget the moderating. Man, if there's one unpaid job on the internet that no one should do for free unless it's part of your own group, it's moderating someone else's Facebook group. If you've started a Facebook group with someone and you're like collectively mods, that's fantastic. It's your group. You have ownership. But I was a moderator of two fairly large Facebook groups, one of which was an official Facebook group for a game company. These are unpaid gigs. It's all volunteer, and it sucks. I mean, it really, really sucks. Whatever you think you get bestowed upon you in terms of like clout or the fact that you're making headway with a game company or like for whatever reason or you're gaining some kind of favor, it isn't worth it. It's not worth the politics and the garbage that come with it, or having to the challenges you have with having to navigate people who aren't your friends, who aren't your contacts, who just want to blast stuff. I remember on a work function, I was driving to work. I had to drive across the state from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh. And I remember getting like texted by someone that I had to jump on the Facebook group and deal with a problem because it was getting out of control. And I'm thinking, I'm a paid operations manager for like a Fortune 500 company, and you need me to stop what I'm doing and pull over to deal with a problem that for a volunteer moderating job, or gig or whatever you want to call it. There's no benefit to these things, and there's the while it's not the same level of mental stress of those folks who are the folks that are the content moderators for all of Facebook. The folks that have to watch people be dismembered and watch horrible things online to make sure it's blocked all day, all night. It's nothing like that, obviously, so I don't want to say it is, but anyone who is a mod for these communities, these very large 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 person communities online, why do you do it to yourself? Really think about that, because if it gives you any stress and you're not being compensated for that stress, it's not worth it. If you are a paid representative of the company with the Facebook group, that's one thing. If you're unpaid, you shouldn't be doing it. I saved hours of my time, probably days of my time deleting Facebook, and I've reinvested that time much more smartly. I have put it into wiser online presence, most notably through active chat over on Discord, or actually texting people or talking to people on on Zoom, or sometimes the less personal Twitter, which I do prefer to Facebook. It's got its own problems. Or right here chatting with you fine people here on the vlog. Alternatively, I have also that was the time I used from Facebook in the morning and at night, just doom scrolling. I reinvested that into reading, which is how I've read so much in the last year. It's been where I've gotten my time to read dozens and dozens of novels and graphic novels and game books that I've always wanted to read, and now I got to read them because I found the time. I found it on Facebook. I'm not going to give you in this video any useful tips on how to navigate Facebook. I tried a lot of options to try to make my time on Facebook more user-friendly or more healthy, and I don't think there is a good way to manage your time effectively on Facebook. I just don't, other than just deleting Facebook and finding something else. I think a lot of people fear deactivation and deletion of their Facebook account. They're afraid that if they disconnect, they won't have a means of keeping up with people, keeping up with their friends and their family afterwards. And I'm here to say that if you give those friends and family an avenue or avenues to stay connected, you won't be disconnected to the ones that are worth keeping. You won't be disconnected to the people that you really want, your real friends in your life. That's the big difference between a Facebook friend and a real friend, is if someone kind of follows you, either where you're going online, if you're going to give them a chance to talk to you somewhere else, or alternatively, if you can just use email or other forms of chat, that works as well. Or again, the phone, you can always text your friends. That's the connection you should have. Because I realize that Facebook does give the opportunity to be connected with so many more people that maybe and to reconnect with people that you've not spoken with in years. And I think there was a time when that was the place Facebook was. It's just not that place anymore. At least it wasn't that place in the spring and summer of 2020. I would be very surprised if it was that place now. So that's my take. That's my rant. That's my Mental Health Monday pitch. Is it kind of harsh? Have you disconnected from Facebook? Are you still stuck on there? Do you feel stuck on there and you want to disconnect? Leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And let's have a nice chat, and let's keep that chat civil and whatnot. And tomorrow, Tallest Tuesday. Haven't picked a topic yet, but it should be cool, or it won't be. I mean, no, I'm not giving myself any pressure here. It might just be me boringly talking about, the characters that are in my game. Maybe not, though. I have some ideas for tomorrow that might make tomorrow pretty interesting. So that's that. Have a great Monday, and, good luck this week in whatever you're doing.